I'm over. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. We're going to call the meeting to order February 25th, 2016. Then take the roll call, please.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Here.
Council members Achara.
Here.
Long.
Here.
Shephaka.
Here.
And Mayor Siciliano.
Yes, everybody please rise for a pledge of allegiance, and then please remain standing for a moment of silent prayer thereafter. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Notice requirement of the Open Public Meeting Act for this meeting has been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press in a coaster, posted in Town Hall, filed in the office of the municipal clerk on December 29th, 2015. There are two emergency fire exits on the wall. One to my right will take you out to the front of the building. One to my left will take you out to the rear parking lot. If you have a cell phone, please turn it off. If you need to make a call, kindly go out into the hallway and make your call there. We have no ceremonies tonight, so before we start anything, I will make an announcement. March 2016 will be Youth Art Month, so we're going to bring them in probably in March. We'll see that group. I'm going to go down the line if we have any council reports. Deputy Mayor Garofalo, anything?
Nothing this evening, Mayor.
Great, thank you. Donna, anything?
Just that St. Patrick's Day is coming up on March 11th, Friday night. It's from 6:30 to 10:30. We have food, we have entertainment, and it should be a very nice evening. And this is helping to raise money for our Memorial Day Parade, which will be on Monday, May 30th. And we have bands lined up. The applications went out for floats and high school bands and other organizations to march in the parade. So everything's coming together.
Good, great. Thank you, Donna.
You're welcome.
Rich, anything?
Just briefly, Mayor, as a member of the Community Hope Fund Executive Board, we are going to be having our fund drive in the month of March. We'll be sending out envelopes to residents in the community asking for donations to the Community Hope Fund. We're a 501c3 nonprofit charitable organization. We help many of the people in the community, especially around the holidays, most notably Thanksgiving and Christmas. We also give out grants in the spring to enterprises that seek to help the youth of the community develop the 40 developmental assets that are recognized by the Search Foundation to try to keep kids away from risky behaviors. So things are coming out from Community Hope Fund. We hope the community will continue with their generous support.
Great, thank you, Rich.
Sure.
Rob?
One thing, Mr. Mayor, attended the planning board meeting this past Monday night. One of the highlights was a company that's going to be moving from Eatontown to Ocean Township nationwide campus. They are a distribution company for personal and healthcare products. They're going to be taking over space where Jarvis Direct Mail was in the industrial park on the corner of Roller and Rose. We gave them approval, and the plans look fantastic. We're really excited about it. It just meets one of our master plan goals of redeveloping property that is vacant at this point. So we're really excited about that. We think the tenant's going to be a great addition to the township.
Great. One property at a time. Great, Rob. Andrew, anything?
Just want to mention there will be a special brush pickup beginning on Monday. So we will, given the weather conditions that we've had, there was a lot of people that put brush out over the last week or so. So we will do that collection again beginning on Monday.
Great. Marty?
Nothing tonight, Mr.
And just to expound on what Donna had said, so funds raised for the St. Patty's Day this year and also the sponsorships help go to all community events, not only the Memorial Day Parade, but 4th of July. We have the menorah lighting, the Christmas tree lighting. We have our Fall Fest,
Veterans Day,
etc. So this helps, and we're getting a lot of support from a lot of people. So we're really overwhelmed this year. We're really glad to see the participation. This year's parade is going to be probably the best event we've ever had. I'm going to say in my 56 years of being in this town. It's really going to be the event. So don't miss it. Also, Rich is being modest as well. Community Hope also distributes something like about 180 Thanksgiving dinners during Thanksgiving time and Christmas and gifts, et cetera, in addition to everything else that he had mentioned. So 2 great groups to support. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. With that, I'll go right into the purpose of this public portion is to solely ask questions to understand resolutions that appear on this agenda. It's not an occasion for a public hearing on an ordinance. All questions not related to an item on this agenda should be asked during the public comments portion at the conclusion of the meeting. Does anybody have anything as to on the agenda tonight? Come up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Now's your chance.
Is Resolution 16050 being acted upon tonight?
No, that one's being pulled.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Come on up, please. State your name and address for the record.
Good evening, Susan Boria, 39 Redwood Drive. 1655 is an application for environmental grants.
Yes.
Can you just give me a synopsis on what kind of
What
work
we
that
would
would
use
be?
it for?
Yeah.
Andrew, we had a
Yes.
couple of discussions.
The Deal Lake Commission partnered with the township about 4 years ago to get a grant over at Colonial Terrace Golf Course. A lot of plants were planted to create a buffer so that as things ran off the golf course, they were filtered before they got into the lake. So it's stormwater quality. We're looking to do something further upstream, possibly a detention basin or a filtering basin so that we can control the water that comes into Deal Lake, filter it, and control the flow of it so that we don't have flooding and we do have quality water. So it's going to be tied in with Deal Lake. We don't have the exact details on it right now, but we are working on it.
Okay, so it's tied in with Deal Lake.
Yes.
Thank you. Just if you could give me a synopsis or a layman's explanation of the, am I allowed to ask about the ordinances that are
No,
going to be introduced?
Just resolutions right now.
Excuse me.
I thought that was a nice curtsy, though.
Anybody else? Anything on the resolutions or consent agenda? Brian, come on up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor and Council. I just got a question about 16053. Why was that law firm selected?
We've had a relationship with them for at least 10 years, and the only thing they're doing is they're cleaning up those cases from pre-2013, the state tax appeal cases. It just doesn't make sense to switch firms midstream. Many of those cases are almost completed, so we're just having them wind those up for us.
Okay, and my other question is, I see you finally are going to tear down those places at
Mhm.
Popper Village.
Yes.
The Mazza, I know the Mazza family. They're very nice people and do a very good job. Did you get many other bids?
Yes, several. I'm going to tell you, they ranged from that upwards of 750,000. In fact, Mazza underbid the last bidder, who couldn't hold his bid for us. He said it expired, and no way could he hold that price. And so when we rebid it, we wound up getting a lesser price from a closer company.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, no. They're very good, and they've been in business a long time. But my question is, why did it take so long
We didn't
for you to tear these places down?
close on a property,
Well,
Bri. We had a
Yeah.
problem.
The way this works, Brian, is we can't tear them down until we own the property. There were a lot of issues as we went along trying to purchase this property, and we just closed.
Last month?
2 weeks.
So now we're going
Late
right to the
January.
head.
Yeah, because my company cut the lawn down there for 32 years, and and people couldn't believe that it took that long after that place flooded. And my personal opinion, some of those structures probably could have been fixed up. Even some of the structures that people were still living in, they had to get out of them. I believe there's only 39 units. They're going to be
32.
remaining of 32. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't tear the whole place down, but it's just because it's a beautiful place back down there. It's very quaint and very calm, and a lot of people don't even know it's there. My mother lived there for 15 years.
Great.
It's a beautiful place. Now, when you when you remove these structures, what is it going to be, just level and grass?
Yeah, return it back to its natural state, berm a little bit, and just make it a nice, even more quaint than it is now.
So my other question is, will there never be anything built on that property?
Never,
Say
there will never
never.
be anything built. Well, it'll be deed restricted as open space. That's
Ever.
one of the FEMA requirements. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Anybody else on resolutions? Go up to the microphone, state your name and address right now. So tonight we have minutes for the February 9th workshop and the meeting, and resolution 16048 through 16055. We are pulling 16050 until we retweak some, make some corrections there. That being said, someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka. And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes. And for individual action, we have resolutions 16052, authorize the purchase of 2 Dodge Charger vehicles from Hetrick Fleet Service, state contract A88729 in the amount of $49,054. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, 16053, authorize a professional service contract with Michael DuPont Esquire and the firm of McKenna, DuPont, Higgins, and Stone to defend the township pre-tax 2013 tax appeals at a cost not to exceed $25,000. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, 16054, award a contract to D&J Mazda Demolition for the demolition and removal of residential structures at Poplar Village at a cost not to exceed $236,742. Someone please offer.
I'll offer.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, and tonight for introduction, we have ordinance number 2253. Vin, would you read the title?
An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 2B, 7, and 10 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Ocean.
All right, someone please introduce ordinance number 2253.
Introduce ordinance 2253.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, I'll have the public hearing at the next meeting, which is
March 10th.
March 10th. Also, for introduction, we have ordinance number 2261. Vin, would you read the title, please?
An ordinance amending Chapter 14 and Chapter 16 of the revised general ordinances of the Township of Ocean, creating a no smoking policy at township recreation facilities.
Someone please introduce ordinance number 2261.
Offer ordinance 2261.
Second, please.
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, and also for introduction, ordinance number 2262.
Sure.
Vin, would you read the title, please?
An ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 21 entitled the Comprehensive Land Development Ordinance for the Township of Ocean.
Great, someone please introduce ordinance number 2262.
Offer ordinance 2262.
Second?
Second.
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shephaka.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, and it too will have its public hearing on March 10th. Anybody have anything? Come on up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record. Now's the time. Oh, we have Mrs. Hudson's first.
Barbara Hudson, Mahar's Drive. I'm doing this in 2 stages. This is about the museum.
Great.
Okay?
That's the one.
The museum, because I know we
Yeah,
have.
we'll remind people that we have the opening of the Civil War exhibits, mini exhibits, and it's going to be March 6th, and then 2 days later, we have the speaker at the auditorium, at the old school auditorium. And Mr. Green is going to share his expertise and items from his collection. And for people who know this, our little white building is in the front of the library, because often we have people come in and they're not sure what it is. And we have a tricky opening though, but we're there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 1 to 4. And then in March, we'll be open Thursday night from 7 to 9. And then the first 2 Sundays of the month, we're there 1 to 4 again. And it's all volunteer, so.
When's the speaker going to be there, Mrs. Hudson? You said 2 days later. What time?
That's March 8th,
What?
7:15.
At 7:15?
Right. Okay, now happening right now, you still have the 50s from Mr. Long, The high school 50. That
The 1950s, Rich, he remembers them well.
50s, yes.
He was a young teenager.
Graduated high school in 1950.
I remember walking to school during a
50 years old.
snowstorm, yes.
Both ways, no
Never
shoes.
forget
I know
that.
that you were
Both
there.
ways.
1850s.
It's going to come down soon. But we do have DVDs that you can buy for
Great.
$10, and I have the whole, everything that they have there.
He has a kaleidoscope from back in the day.
Now, and also, I would tell you that, and the other thing is the hometown history. Your mom
Yes.
is on here, that's really wonderful. Everybody keeps coming in and saying how terrific that is.
Yeah, they're nice
She has
programs.
quite a
It
history.
really is a great program, really
So,
is.
Did we know that she was from St. Louis, Missouri?
See?
No.
But you know, they had 3 episodes, and each one I watched
It's
each
been
one
great.
of them. They're all great. Yeah.
It's very great. So we had that. Now, this year's exhibit, I just want to say, it's about the history of fashion. All right, but that's history. Because we have two videos. When they set this up, they have 2 videos that tell you all the detail. But we have the models. And it begins with the American colonial dress. And in that history is that we were not allowed to export. We had to import everything. So it wasn't until the Revolution that they got mad and then started to make their own clothing. And the other interesting thing is that the next model is of what happened in Napoleon. Because you have to remember that women were wearing these wigs up to here and dresses out to there. And Josephine, Napoleon's wife, went back to the classics. And so you have the flowing gown, the slippers. Right? So that was quite a change. But then it goes to the Victorian, when you have a lot of
Right.
stuff, right? And the women are back to the hoop. And so, and then if anybody's watching Downton Abbey, that's the Edwardian phase of that. And they had the women in hobble skirts. They had to walk like this. And they had to change the entrance to the trolleys, for the women. So the history, the
Interesting.
fashion reflects all the history. Now then we have the World War I, and they break out and you have the flappers, right? And after that you have Hollywood, 50s, 60s, 30s, 40s, and 50s, and designers, and they're in charge. And the ends very poignantly because a picture of Jacqueline Kennedy. There's 2 things happen in the 60s. One is the hippies, and they're completely unadorned.
Right, compared to
And-
Jackie. So,
And then you have
Dressed up.
Jackie, right? And the picture of her in her Chanel suit,
right.
blood-stained.
Oh.
So I don't know if this is progress, but it is history.
So this is on display now. Also,
This
the
is on
fashion.
display. Yeah, it's
Awesome.
very, very interesting.
Cool.
And of course, it's fashion, but it's following,
Yeah, the whole.
reflects all the whole, yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. Anybody else come on up to the microphone, state your name and address for the record, Mr. Marowitz. You're gonna have to move up here, Susan, because
Yeah, they're jumping right
you're
in
getting
front
beat
of you.
out.
You got a long walk by the time you get up here.
Marowitz is limping.
Paul Merowitz, 117 Cedar Village Boulevard. Saw a discussion on social media where,
Stay off social media. Paul.
It's dangerous.
and there was a discussion on one of the applications before the planning board. But someone raised an interesting question. And they basically raised the question of, well, we've got Continental Gardens, Twin Brook, Primrose Place, Well Pond Village, West Park Manor, Wanamassa Gardens, Middlebrook. How many more apartments can this township and the related population can we absorb? Which made me want to ask the question. We have a master plan. Under that master plan, utilizing some reasonable assumptions, what's our current population in Ocean Township, and where's a full build-out of that master plan put us?
Well, it depends on who you're asking. The current population is 27,332. Full build out, according to master plan or COA, you'll get 2 different numbers.
Okay, let's contrast the 2.
Okay, so probably realistically, I'm going to say we're in the 90 percentile of full build out. So that being said, 30, 31 would be a reasonable number. COA seems to think that we have room for about 1,230 more in addition to that.
So we can probably, if I can do the math quickly, we're going to expect only another 30,000 we're going to top out?
Seems reasonable based on what we have available.
Okay. And who's going to be responsible for fixing the problem on West Park?
Which problem? What's
You
your
mean the
problem?
traffic issues
The
now?
traffic issue.
You know-
35 I know we can say is the state.
Well, here's
But
the
who
thing.
owns West Park?
Great
county.
question.
County.
Great question. So West Park is the county. We had them in here earlier in the summer for their West Park stem to stern plan, which takes time because you're dealing with another government entity other than the township. So, and there were several fixes on there. I don't know if you've seen it. If not, come up to the mayor's office and I'll be glad to show it to you. But it did include several improvements to help ameliorate any of the situations present and or future coming up. Is it going to be 100% fixed? Is it going to be better? Yes. So that's the look we're going for.
I know we're focusing on that, just like the state is focusing on what they're going to do with the Asbury Park Circle and Route 66. As a resident, probably the only thing I'm concerned about is when can we expect to see some relief? Or do we have to wait till something's done with the,
No.
The
There's
trust.
a plan and there's dialogue, Andrew. I think we've got emails back and
Well,
forth.
we had the open house in the fall, and Monmouth County is coming back. They've now, I believe, adopted that plan with the recommendations because West Park Avenue is a county roadway. They're going to come back before the governing body, probably sometime in the early spring, and review that with us, and we're going to begin prioritizing what the projects based on the availability of funding, based on do we have all that land acquired in that particular case, that particular area that we need, and then we're going to start moving forward with the improvements. But
your
it's going
best
to
guess 3 years out?
before you see
before we're finished with all the
before we
improvements.
see
see
anything.
shovel in ground 3 years.
I would expect we would see some and again, some of the minor things I think we can get done sooner than that.
Okay, and did they resolve Route 66 with the state study that they were doing?
No.
So that's now 2 years behind schedule, just in the planning phase to get it into the capital budget.
And we do plan on having the state come in and talk about Highway 35 as well.
Can we do something with Neptune and Tinton Falls to really apply some pressure?
On the circle, you mean, on 66 and the circle?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're all affected by it.
Yeah, no, certainly I can get together with the other mayors and our local legislators and say, hey, this has got to happen. And
Okay. Second question. We were going to introduce a sexually oriented business ordinance in February. Where do we stand on that?
I'm going to defer to our attorney on that one.
I assume so.
Yeah, we're not prepared to do that right now. We're reviewing it, we've had meetings, and we will continue to look at that. But again, I'm not so sure that an ordinance, given the statute, is the right thing to do, but it's something that is being discussed.
Okay. And if someone wanted to read the executive session minutes, is that only by Oprah request?
Yes.
Um,
Because we have to
Closed session, yes.
redact what's not yet available. So, but it is by Oprah request, yes.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Well, Susan was waiting patiently.
Leaning against the wall.
A long walk for a short question, she
Let me
promised.
see another person.
Well, I have maybe two questions. Am I allowed to ask anything about ordinance now?
Yes.
You can ask whatever.
Yes. Okay, I just wanted a layman's explanation as to 2253. Is that aimed at renters?
It's not really aimed at
Rental.
renters. It has to do, it's a whole laundry list of things that deal with certificates of occupancy and code enforcement. And because we're always coming up with new quirks, new problems, so we're trying to provide some solutions so that we can do our job easier, the residents can be served faster, and we can respond to some of these code enforcement issues that come before us effectively.
Okay, and then if you would just give me a layman's for 2262.
2262.
Land development.
Yeah, right now, if there is no entertainment permitted in restaurants, which means if you want to have a piano player at a restaurant, you have to come before the board to get an approval. So we're trying to
Make it easier.
make it easier so that with some conditions, people can do that without a board approval.
Well, my short question was the calendar mailed out? And if the answer is yes, are they available at the office?
Oh,
Because I
upstairs,
didn't
yeah, I
get
They
one.
were mailed out and they are available at the office.
I
You
didn't get
it?
one.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. Did you guys
Really?
get them?
Cedar
Maybe
Village?
Cedar Village got
Okay.
overlooked.
Well,
No.
I didn't get one either.
Possible.
Okay, we'll look into
And
that.
then, and then tied to that is newsletter. Next one will be.
Newsletter's coming out in the spring.
we're working on it now, so it'll be
Before
out
the
in
election.
April.
You said 2 questions.
There's no
That was
I-
4 questions.
I can't count.
Spring and fall, so you'll see it sometime in
It
April.
comes twice a year.
Yes.
I didn't know that. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure.
Yes, Mr. Lefferson, please come up to the microphone and state your name and address for the record.
Yeah, Brian Lefferson, 236 Cliffwood Road, Oakhurst. This gentleman brought up about West Park Avenue, which I know is bad. Like like Mr. Sisson, I went to school with your brothers and stuff. I was born and raised in the town. But my biggest concern is West Park Avenue is bad, but it comes and goes. But I find Deal Road to be much more worse. And I've actually sat in that firehouse at certain times, and you can see the traffic that comes on and off that road, and all that. Most of that traffic, especially in the summer, but it's even bad in the winter. It's not quite as bad in the winter. Is coming on off. It's going on to Route 18 and coming off of Route 18. Now our town has, if you go from Route 34, with 34 in Wall Township, where Route 18 ends, and you come up to our exits. Our town actually has 3 ways you can get on and off Route 18. You have the 66 Deal Road and West Park Avenue. You can go down Route 18 and get off at the Glendola exit in Wall Township. And that exit actually goes right through a neighborhood. Goes right through a neighborhood.
Right now,
And there's no traffic whatsoever. So my question to you is, and I don't know whether you remember this or not. When Route 18 was built and it ended at Deal Road,
Yeah.
I believe Mr. Pelea might have been mayor, or maybe the next mayor. Our town sued the state, and they collected money because of the traffic increase that was on Deal Road. Now my question to you is, the only way you're going to solve the problem on either one of those roads is you're going to have to, because you drive up Deal Road, once you get over Route 18 in Wayside, there's no traffic in Wayside. It might be a little on-bound road. But the only way you're going to stop that problem is you're going to have to get after the state. You're going to have to petition the state. And as a matter of fact, this is what, if I was mayor in the summertime, and because I've seen that, I've come off of Route 18 with my employees, and we've had to sit in that road for 20 minutes to get across the highway or more. And the road is backed up all the way from Route 18 to Deal Road. Now, if you really want to get ambitious, this is what I would do in the summertime. When that happens, I would send a police car out there and shut that exit off. And let the state come and complain to you. What are they going to do? Send a state trooper there and tell them to move?
Yes.
It's the same thing. It's
Well, that's what will happen, Brian.
Yeah, well,
I
that's what I'm
understand.
saying.
No, listen,
Yeah.
Brian.
But let me finish. You've been here for a long time.
No, I know you.
Even when Mayor Larkin was here and Mr. Weldon, they never done anything about that road. And then the people made a big stink when they wanted to build that Stop and Shop and all that. That was actually going to widen up around that area. And to me, a lot of people were against it. Mayor Larkin got nervous, so and he changed the zoning. So West Park Avenue is bad, but I don't find it as bad because the road is wider, but it's a county road. But that Deal Road is a narrow road, and it's a rural road. You really don't want to widen it anymore because it would ruin the character of our town. But this is a problem that to me is, and it's out of control. And if you had to get a fire truck down that road at a certain time, you wouldn't get down the road. I've seen police cars try to get down that road, and they can't get down it. And it's just something that you have to get after, the freeholders in the state. But the state doesn't have any money in their transportation fund. I mean, you got potholes on 35 now, but that are terrible.
Yes.
But the Asbury Circle, this is my opinion with the Asbury Circle. They repaved it. I think it looks nice. My opinion is if you can't get around the Asbury Park Circle, you shouldn't be driving, as far as I'm concerned. Because people complain about the traffic on there and the way it is set up. and they also complain about 66 and 33. But it'll be. Let me tell you something. It'll be 10 or 15 years before they ever widen that 66 out near Home Depot.
Yeah.
The state doesn't have the money. But this is something that has gone on in this town for a long time. And to me, this should be top priority for you. We have new people on the council, and you as a very aggressive person, as it says on your door hanger, businessman problem solver. Okay, that's my first question. My second question is with this
That was one.
with this no knock ordinance that you
Yes.
have, people can't come and put door hangers on people's doors?
They can. Just there's some folks who want to register to have nobody bother them. They're welcome to register that. It's a registry for no knock. We have a solicitor's ordinance where they're allowed to solicit in town
Well, when you put
during certain hours.
when you put a door hanger on, you're not knocking on somebody's door.
Huh?
So is that still viable? You can do that. Okay, how about when the Jehovah's Witnesses come by and
They're
knock on your door?
Religious uses are exempt.
Religious and
Yeah.
political.
First Amendment issues.
I figured that.
Municipal political are exempt.
Okay, the only people that really aggravate me coming by my door, because it doesn't really bother me when somebody rings my door, because if you really don't want somebody knocking on your door, you better move. Even if you moved to the moon and built a house, I'm sure somebody eventually would probably knock on your door. So it's the people from Verizon, because if you haven't switched to FiOS,
They're going to make you.
they come by my house. Matter of fact, two young ladies came by my house, and they came by 3 times around Christmas. And they actually helped me put my Christmas decorations up. That's how long they were at my house.
There you go.
They were very sweet, so, I didn't tell them.
Did you switch your service, sir?
That is in my wife's department.
Most decisions are.
So, no, not all decisions, no. She paid, no, all I can say, she pays for that, so, because if it was up to me, I'd get rid of the TV if it was up to me, so.
Anything
You want
else
to
germane
get
to,
those people there
what's
every
on the
Christmas?
agenda here?
What's yeah, if they were, they were 2 nice young ladies. They were lovely. So they helped me, and I gave them a couple of drinks, and but they were, so yeah, but they came back to my house persistently. Yeah. So,
They were just looking for a drink.
Yeah, and my-
Cat, Brian.
so finally I told them to let my wife handle them, and because my wife told them we're not. But now my wife's actually thinking about changing.
There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Brian, do you know? No.
Okay. Anybody else on anything? Please come up to the microphone before we. Oh, what'd you forget, Mrs. Hudson?
Very good, Mr.
Germane to what's on the agenda, right? Ordinances or anything
Barbara
else?
Hudson,
Township wide?
Wayside. We went to a fracking waste workshop in Neptune, conducted by the Neptune Environmental Committee. And they were presented by Food and Water Watch, and they review the problem with disposal of fracking waste. Now, while fracking at this time may not be a major concern of our residents, the waste should be. And some of the major points in this review were Pennsylvania and other states are producing millions of gallons of waste, all needing a place to dump.
Right, wanting to bring it to New Jersey.
1.5 million gallons of fracked wastewater and 478 plus tons of drill waste have been sent to facilities in New Jersey. Fracking waste is toxic and radioactive that can cause monumental problems if it gets into our water and sewer system. New Jersey cities have already accepted waste. Carteret, Deepwater, Elizabeth, and South Kearney, where the waste accepted violated permitted levels of radioactivity. A New York Times investigation found radioactivity in drilling wastewater was sometimes hundreds to the thousands of times U.S. EPA drinking water standard. Fracking waste is being used to create de-icing salts that we use on our roads during snow and ice storms. A fracking waste ban bill overwhelmingly passed by the New Jersey legislature was vetoed by Christie. And New Jersey communities passing ordinances banning fracking waste are Elizabeth, Highland Park, South Brunswick, and in Monmouth County, Neptune, Red Bank, and Aberdeen, and there are more. And that's an ordinance. Okay. We would like to suggest that Ocean also pass an ordinance. I have things to send you if you're interested.
We have it. I got it from the legislators, sent it to
Okay.
us, and I shared it tonight with the other council members. So it's on our radar. We'll be discussing it. The thing is, we personally in Township, we use salt from the Morton salt mine, so we use hard, sodium chloride salt,
No,
not the
because
compound. We don't use what the county and or state use, which is the solution, and they heavily spray and treat the roads, and it really does a great job. But you're right, it's petroleum waste. Secondly, some of those other towns are politically made up. We're not. We're a nonpartisan town, so we try not to get too involved in the politics of these issues when they come up. So ordinances come through my email daily. Hey, adopt this resolution. Hey, bring this ordinance to the forefront. And they're fishing to the 655 municipalities out there. The ones that are partisan will certainly step up and do it one way or the other. The ones that aren't will probably just stay neutral and protect their township, their borders, or lakes, etc. So I think that's the
Well, I'm
position we're
wondering
taking
now
right
how
now.
this is going to go in with my next bigger suggestion.
Go for it.
Right. Right. Because, there were, in the newsletter we put, there were two, down in South Jersey, 16 municipalities got together to go to Verizon, all right? And,
Well, they're not
out-
doing good Verizon here. They're having a bad
Well,
day
this
at
was what-
municipal
Yeah, now
Ocean
out west,
Township.
hundreds of cities have, municipalities gotten together to fight global warming. And the point is, look, we have a government and state government that's not doing it, all right? I mean, we're being neglected. So and we're all for democracy, and it seems to us that this is a creative wave that comes up from the bottom. That's really where democracy begins, all right? And it's working, it can work in coalition. I mean, it's not only fracking, which would be a main concern, but what about the pension issue? That's gonna break everybody's back, all right? So, we're not asking that this township do part of a coalition, everybody can share, an issue. But to put pressure from the bottom up is the only way we're gonna ever do anything right now. So, that was a big suggestion, which is, and the fracking ordinance, I don't see that that's so political. You're protecting, it never got into the water or the sewer, for heaven's sake. And then, the point is, nobody's regulating. The biggest issue here, and you read that stuff, there's absolutely no regulation.
I think it'll catch a lot of traction at the state level, though, that drilling and the fracking.
Well,
I think they're all on to it now, but
we'll see.
I gotta read the Okay, thank you. Anybody else? No? See or hear no one? No? Okay. Before we make a motion to adjourn, just want to thank you all for coming. Remind you that we air twice a day at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Channel 22 if you have Fios and 77 if you have Cablevision, except for Tuesday nights. And please watch the calendar for the planning board and zoning board meetings, which we are also. And did you have one more thing, Paul? I know I should have made the disclaimer. I'm kidding.
I didn't make it up in time. At the last council meeting, I asked why we can't record the proceedings for planning, board of adjustment, and council meetings.
They are.
No.
Workshops?
Do it on your DVR.
Oh, why you can't? I don't know. We'll have to ask our Verizon representative and our Cablevision representatives, and I'll find out. Okay, that being said, anybody make a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second?
Deputy Mayor Garofalo.
Yes.
Council members Achara.
Yes.
Long.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
And Mayor Sosiano.
Yes, thank you all for coming. Meeting adjourned.
No, but they're gonna do a solid no.
You gonna ask me about
Don Stein, he is the man. How you doing?